This I love. I wouldn't sit at a sewing machine now if you paid me. Anytime somebody says, no, I said, I don't know how to use a sewing machine. That's why I do it by hand. I really don't like to sit in a machine. I didn't, when I had 5 kids, I only sewed at night after they were all in bed. Many a night I sat at that sewing machine till 2 or 3 in the morning. But I made all their clothes. To me, that's monotonous. But sitting there doing this it's very nice, it's very soothing, and I feel, I don't feel guilty when I'm sewing. If I were to sit down and just watch TV, then I would feel very guilty. I would think I should be doing something. And I don't like to garden. So that's my thing. But it's very rewarding, because first of all, you've given somebody an heirloom that they will have for a long time, and you did it yourself. Not a machine did it, I did it. And that's what gives me satisfaction.
I like the exactness, but I also like things that you don't have to think about. Let's just do it quilting, and put it together and have fun with it rather than just being terrifically exact. That's very relaxing.
Like the women were saying today, we relax doing that work. Do you know what I'm saying? We enjoy it. We get enjoyment out of doing it, and you feel almost rested after you do it. It isn't like hard, laborious work. And then we're talking, and the time goes very quickly. I'm usually there about 8:30 in the morning every Tuesday, and I stay till 12, and that's 3.5 hours. You're doing a puzzle. You have all little pieces, and then all of a sudden you see a design coming, and it's real pretty. We went once to the Delaware County Fair, and one husband came in there. We had all the quilts out and everything, and one husband came and he says, I don't understand you women. You get a big piece of material, you cut it in tiny little pieces, and then you sew it together to make one big piece again. But that's what's so wonderful about doing it. Another quilt I'd like to do is where each of us do an individual block and then put it all together with, it'll be what each one of us would think of to do. One group.
Like you all stitch differently, but together.
Oh yes, we all do. If you look at it closely, you'll see it.
How do you stitch differently?
Some are bigger, some are smaller. But it doesn't matter. It all goes together, and when it's all done, you don't really, unless you are going to take each piece and look at it under a microscope, you won't even know that.
Come up from the city. We have a nice big group. See, so many people come up from the city, and they're what we have too. They're not a lot of them local. Betty and I guess is still the only local ones left, and Barbara and Marty and Doris, all of them have come up from the city.
Now they keep it at 50.
So you find it keeps you organized.
Yeah.
What about working in that Viga hall?
Oh, that's fun. I think that's really, it's so unique to think that you have an outhouse. And there's no water there. In the like today it was very warm, but in the winter, you go in there, and before they used to shut the heat off entirely, and now they keep it at 50. And you get in, it's relatively warm, but see how off that is?
It's a fun thing to do, and you feel you're doing something for the community. You know, I'm limited now at my age as to what I can do. So I make the quilts and I give them away. And they raffle them off. You know, right now, Boy Scouts, well, you saw the yellow one. And I gave one to Nancy for her group. And they quilted that, and that's for the hospital. And then the applique one I gave to the hall.
We made quilts for all the beds in the nursing home. And we made quilts for all the beds in the nursing home. And I wish I had a picture of the one I made two. See, oh, they were beautiful.
And how
See,
many
these
do
are,
you make?
well, how many?
All the grandchildren have quilts. Let's see. There's Matthew, Ryan, Kenneth, James, Billy, Natalie, Elizabeth. Made one from Bob and Jasmine, Barbara and Hank, Doris and Jeff, and Kathy. And some of them have two. Actually, and Barbara has three. No, she has four.
My sister, some of the kids, but not all of them. I'd love to before I die, but I don't know. It takes a while. It takes 6 to 9 months to do one quilt.
The kids' quilt. This one says, Dear Tyler, this quilt was made just for you to celebrate your 4th birthday. May it keep you ever warm and act as a reminder of my love for you.
Oh, should I get all emotional?
Remind me of my love for you. Grandma, Nancy. April 19th, 2001. The one that my daughter has at home, I made it for her and she has it in her home. We went to a quilt show. We came home from the quilt show. We stopped at a fabric shop. We bought fabric. We cut out several blocks to try it. And it was just such a great experience to be with her all day at the quilt show, to have her buy me something that I really wanted, and then to make it up and enjoy it and say, look at this is phenomenal. And then I made her a complete quilt out of different material. And on the label, I put basically that story, what a wonderful day it was to share with you and to experience quilting with you or cutting things out with you. And it was just a great day. I remember it all the time. Everybody has a quilt. My two children and the grandkids, they have quilts at home, and then the quilts I've made for them for the rooms up here that they're in. And Eliza does not have her own quilt yet, so I have to work on that. My granddaughter.
The only complaint my family has about this one, when I put it on the bed, it's too warm, even in January.
Can you show me that one again?
This one here. This is the Quilters. It wasn't, a hard job, but they did all the quilting on this. You can see it on the back. And it was a quick job.
Hold it up in the light a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great.
Can you tell us about that quilt? When was it made?
Now, this is the first one I made, though. I started at one time and then put it away, and then I finished it after I retired from my job in '90. Reminds me of my husband. He always used these, this type of bandanas when he worked. He was on construction. I don't know how many wants lemonade.
Okay.
Well, I think they just say, oh, thank you, Mother. I don't even know whether they, you know, quilts, I think, to want it on your, you have to be into quilts, I think, to want it on your bed. You know, they have their own way of decorating, but they've each gotten one. They can do what they want with them.